Hi, my dear students. In our previous session, we were understanding or we tried to understand what is meant by ionic product of water. It is the product of the two ions of water, H plus and the OH minus. We also learnt that why water is neutral. It is because of what? Concentration of hydrogen ion as well as hydroxide ion is equal. That's why water is neutral. And another point we discussed in our previous session was about the pH given by scientist Sorensen. So pH equal to minus log hydrogen ion concentration. So using the hydrogen ion concentration and as well as hydroxide ion concentration, we have made one scale and that was known as what? pH scale. So all these points we are discussing yesterday. And in today's discussion, we are we will try to understand what is meant by dissociation constant for acids and the bases. So I think what we are going to discuss today, today's topic of discussion is what? Dissociation constants for acids and bases. Okay. Remember, we are in the second part of last chapter, chemical equilibrium. First part is called as normal chemical equilibrium, whereas the second part of this chapter is called as what? Ionic equilibrium. So we are in the ionic equilibrium. And remember, water is a very poor electrolyte. How it was noticed, it was observed, it was said, because uh, experimental data says that if you take out the ratio of dissociated to the undissociated water, it is found that the value is very, very, very less. That means what? The ratio of dissociated to undissociated is very less. Means what? Which is the product here? Product is dissociated. Answer is very less. That means water dissociates to small extent. That's why the answer is very, very small. This shows that water is a very poor electrolyte. Okay, all these we learned yesterday in our session known as ionic product of water. So today we will continue ionic equilibrium. Okay, so another part of ionic equilibrium is what? Dissociation constants for acids and bases. Okay, right. Let us take one general example, HA. Okay, one more point let's make clear here. So normally weak acids and the weak bases, they undergo dissociation partially. Okay. If acid undergoes complete dissociation, then there is no equilibrium. Equilibrium means there where they undergo partial dissociation. So some amount of acid will be there and some amount of water acids dissociation into its corresponding ions are there. So there is equilibrium between dissociated and undissociated acid or the base. For this only equilibrium is there, not for the complete dissociation. Because when the acid undergoes complete dissociation, then the problem of equilibrium will not arise. So whatever reactant is there, it will become completely the product in the form of what? Ions. They are called as what? They are called as strong electrolytes, strong bases. Okay, but for the ionic equilibrium, so examples are what? It is the one which undergoes partially. So they are what? They are weak electrolytes. That is, examples are weak acids and the weak bases. So today I have taken an example for what? Weak acid. General example HA. So it dissociates, okay, partially, and still some acid is there and ions are there and they are in the equilibrium. Okay. Now when time is zero, means what? Still the process has not started. Which process? Process of dissociation. So when the time is zero, so what is the concentration of the acid? C. Let us take C is the concentration. What is concentration? Moles per liter. Okay, some moles in some volume, that is called moles per liter concentration. So let us take general term. C is the concentration of weak acid. Still it has not dissociated, therefore it is taken as C. Now how much H is there? Zero, because not dissociated. No. How much A is there? 0. Excuse me. Because acid has not dissociated, therefore concentrations of what ions is equal to 0. It is shown here. This is the concentration of what? Acid. Now time equal to some time, or when the equilibrium is attained. So when the equilibrium attained, that is what? Some amount, some concentration of this acid has undergone dissociation. Okay, how much? It is C alpha. What is C alpha? C alpha is what? It is the concentration of an acid undergone dissociation. Okay, please see the equation. 1 mole of Ha became 1 mole of H plus ion and 1 mole of A minus ion. Okay, so if alpha is the degree of dissociation with respect to the concentration C, the time C alpha is what? C alpha is the concentration out of the what you have taken in the beginning, which has undergone dissociation. Because equal moles of H plus A minus are there. How much is there for the H plus? Same is there for the A also. A minus also. Okay. So that means C alpha is the what concentration or the amount of acid undergone dissociation. That means in the beginning, how much it was there? C. So out of C, C minus undergone. So how much is left? It is C minus alpha you take out. So C minus C alpha undergone dissociation. So C minus C alpha equal to what? C is common. So he has taken C common. So C into bracket 1 minus alpha. Okay. So this is left after taking out C alpha from the concentration C. So C alpha of H plus C alpha equal amount of the A minus are there. And how much is there acid? It is C into bracket 1 minus alpha. Okay. Now let us apply equilibrium expression for the this equation, this equilibrium. Okay, right. So it is a ratio of what? Concentration of a product is to the concentration of the reactant. So what is the concentration? C alpha. Again C alpha. So C alpha, C square alpha square. By what? By concentration of what? Acid. How much left? C into bracket 1 minus alpha. Okay, right. So why is taken C alpha square here? Because this is C alpha becomes what? C square alpha square. By C into bracket 1 minus alpha, C gets cancels. So what remains? It is C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Now, here what is alpha? Alpha is the degree of dissociation. How much normally weak acid undergoes? Very small amount undergoes, no? That means what is the value of alpha if you compare to 1? Very small amount, very much less than 1. So when alpha is so small, what is 1 minus alpha? 1 minus alpha, see 1 minus, if you take alpha to 0.00001, some small amount concentration. So 1 minus alpha is nothing but 1 only. That is taken. Why it is taken like that? Because the degree of dissociation is very small. Therefore, because alpha value is very less, so 1 minus alpha is taken as almost equal to 1. So this is taken as what? 1. That means what is the K value now? K value equal to C alpha square only. What is alpha square? Alpha square equal to Ka by C. Then what is alpha? Alpha equal to square root of K by C. Okay. Now, let us put the what is the concentration of H plus ion here? C alpha. Okay. So C as usual, what is alpha? Alpha equal to root K by C. Now multiply in this inside the square root C by C. When you multiply this with C by C, okay, what happens here? KC by C square. What is C square? Square root of C square? It is C only. When C comes out here, that C, this C cancels. So what remains here? Only Kc. Okay. So hydrogen ion concentration with respect to K equal to what? Root of K into C. So all these will use where? When you start the numericals. Okay. Right. Now, in the same way, we will calculate for what? Dissociation constant for base. In the same way. Okay. Right. Now, this is for Kb. Now, if the Kb value is more, means what? This is more. Okay. This is more means what? Ions are more. Ions are more means what? It has undergone almost dissociation. That is called what? It is a strong base. Larger the value of Kb, larger the ions present in the solution. That means base is strong. In the same way, larger the value for Ka, stronger is the acid. So depend upon the value of Ka and the Kb, we will tell whether the given acid is or given base is strong or weak. Larger the value of Kb, more are ions. More are ions means what? More it has dissociated. That means base is strong, acid is strong. Okay. So once again, I'll repeat: larger the value of Ka and Kb, stronger is the acid and the base respectively. And accordingly, smaller the value of K and Kb, weak is the acid and the base. See, he has given the data. So larger the value of K for hydrofluoric acid. So strong acid compared to all these data says. In the same way, for the base also, larger the value of Kb. Okay, stronger is the base. So dimethylamine is the strongest base in this area. Okay, only in this area you have to compare. So if your values are given, then only you can compare. So in this table, this is the best base or the strong base depend upon the K and the Kb value. Now, what is Ka? It is a dissociation constant for acid. A for acid. What is Kb? Kb is the dissociation constant for base. B for the base. Okay. Now let us see once again. Ha plus H2O gives what? H3O plus A. Now let us write equilibrium constant for acid Ka. So it is a product by the what? Reactant. Right. So now what is the equilibrium constant for the base? So Kb equal to what? This one. Okay. Now, what is K into Kb? K into Kb is what? So this is Ka and this is Kb. So Ha gets cancelled. Aa gets cancelled. What remains here? Concentration of H3O and concentration of OH1 remains. What does this mean? What is this here? Concentration of H3O plus means what? It is the concentration of the H plus only, no? So concentration of the H plus into concentration of the OH plus means what? It is the ionic product of water, Kw, equilibrium constant for water. So K into Kb equal to what? It is Kw. This is the relation. So relation between Kw, Kb is what? Kw is equal to K into Kb from this derivation. Now, please see here. This is what? Why this is called as monobasic? Because this acid contains only one acid. So it can give only one proton. So this is called monobasic acid. So we are where we are now. We are discussing what? Uh, what? Dibasic acid, monobasic acid, or polybasic acid. Depend upon what? Depend upon the number of H plus ion it is giving. Because HCl gives only one H plus, therefore it is called monobasic acid. And in the same way, sulfuric acid gives two protons, therefore it is a dibasic acid. And phosphoric acid gives three protons, therefore it is called as a dibasic acid. So depend upon the number of H plus it gives, it is classified as a monobasic, dibasic, tribasic. But normally in general, more than one is taken as what? Polybasic acid. And this polybasic acid, or the whether it is a polybasic, tribasic, dibasic, this term we also relate to what? Basicity. Means what? What is the basicity of this acid? Only one. Why? It gives only one proton because it is monobasic, because it gives only one H plus. Therefore, basicity of this acid is 1, of this acid 2, of this acid 3, and so on. Depend upon the number of replaceable H plus ion, basicity is calculated. Here, basicity is 1, of this is 2, of this is 3. Just now I told. Okay, right. Now, see here. One more point here. For example, this is tribasic acid or triprotic acid. Protic is what? Ability to give the proton, RH plus. So when one H is given, it becomes H2PO4 minus H plus is given out. Okay, that is called Ka1 value. Okay, now if it want to give the second proton, you need to give so easily. After giving the one proton, whatever chemical atmosphere is there, no, that is minus charge on the H2PO4 minus. From that minus chemical atmosphere, coming second H plus is a little difficulty. How the first H plus came so easily, but second H plus comes not so easily. It comes with difficulty. That means what? That means ability to give the second H is a little difficult. So its K value what? K value becomes less. More the K value, best is the acid. So K value is more where for the first proton. K value for the second proton is less. For third, less. That means what? That means if it gives stepwise first, second, third proton, and if you calculate the K value correspondingly, it is found that K1 for this acid is more than K2, K3 for this acid. Because of what? Because of what? Chemical atmosphere created after giving the first proton. Okay, right. Now this is what the, till now what we learnt. Till now we learnt polybasic acid. Now we are learning polyacidic base. Okay. So how much OH minus it gives? Accordingly, it is called as mono what? Acidic base, diacidic base, triacidic base. NaOH gives only one OH minus one, only one OH minus. So it is called monoacidic base. It gives two OH minus. So it is called diacidic base. That means there for the acid we said basicity. Now for this we are using what? Acidity. Okay. So acidity of NaOH is 1. Acidity of calcium hydroxide is 2. So all these are used in making the antacid to control the acidity. Okay, that's why we are using the word acidity. For acid basicity, for the base acidity, depending on what? Number of H plus giving, number of H minus giving. Okay, right. Now, factors affecting the acid strength. On what ground acid is taken or acid is told it is strong or weak? There are two factors. One is strength of the HA bond. For example, HCl bond, F bond, HBr bond. That bond strength is important. Okay, what he says, if the bond is strong, means what? When the HCl bond is strong, it will not give H plus so easily. When it is not giving H plus so easily, it is not a strong acid at all. So, if the bond is weak, then it gives easily H plus ion. So the one which gives H plus easily, it is the best acid or strong acid. Okay. So the strength of acid is determined on ground number 1. What is the ground number 1? Bond strength of HA. Okay. See here HF, HCl, HBr, HI. Okay. Here I is what? Larger in size. So when the HI is larger in size, so bond length is more. When the bond length is more, bond strength is less. So this HI will give H very easily. Because this HI will give easily, so this is what? Strong acid. So when you compare HF, HCl, HBr, HI, keeping H constant, size increasing from fluorine to chlorine, chlorine to bromine, bromine to iodine, that time this is giving easily H plus. So because this is giving easily H plus, this is the best acid or the strong acid. That's why size increases, acid strength also increases. So HI is stronger acid than HF. Okay, right. And second factor is what? Second factor is what? Electronegativity or the polarity. Okay, you see here CH4, NH3, H2O, HF. C is the member of what? 14th. N is the member of 15th group. O is the member of what? 16th. F is the member of what? 17th. So all these are from 14 to 17. Okay. So electronegativity increases. When the electronegativity increases, what happens here? What happens when the electronegativity increases? Polarity increases. That means this fluorine can withdraw the shared pair of electrons so fastly. So when it is withdrawing the shared pair of electron towards the fluorine, so this H can be removed easily. Okay. Therefore, because the electronegativity of fluorine is more, polarity of HF bond is more, poles are created so easily, H is removed easily. That means acid strength increases as electronegativity increases. Okay, but where you see this effect, this effect is in the period from left to right. Okay, whereas this effect is what, in the same group from top to bottom. So this factor is dominating in group, and this effect is dominating in the period. So it depends upon the situation whether it belongs to period or a group or combined effect. Ultimately, what matters here, the one which gives easily H plus, the strong acid, the one which accepts the H plus, strong base, the one which gives easily OH minus, strong base, the one which accepts the OH minus, what, strong acid. So all these are what we study at that moment. What factor matters, that decides, and we can say what, stronger, weaker, acid or base. But this is done what, experimentally. So there we calculate what, K Kb value. So there what we conclude, more the K Kb value, best or strong is the what, acid and the base respectively. So today we learnt something interesting about the acid bases, and in the next session what we learn, almost we are in the last part. So that in few days we will wind up the question. Thank you, my dear boys.